The first skill is becoming your own source of positive emotions. When you learn to self-generate positive emotions from within yourself, then you have done almost 90% of the work. Most people cannot generate good emotions from themselves. Most people need others to validate them. Most people need others to tell them how to feel about themselves. And as a result, that neediness, that lack of ecosystem of positive emotion within themselves, because it's so empty, because it's so deserted, they then begin to externalize it and begin to seek other people to let them know that they are worthy of love. And once they get that validation, then they could give themselves the love. But if they don't get that validation from others, then they still cannot give themselves the love. But the point is that at the end of the day, what you're doing is looking for permission to love yourself. It's not that you can't love yourself, but that you're looking for other people to show you that you're worthy of it. It's like when you're going in one direction and you don't see nobody following you, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, am I going to the right place? You want to see other people going in the same direction so that you can feel self-assured and continue on that path. And it's the same thing with self-love. You need other people to show you that you're worthy of love so that you can love yourself, because we are human animals. We mirror each other. We are very smart animals. So if somebody loves, you know how desire is a social construct? How whatever is valuable is based on what other people value. It's the same with your self-worth. If you don't get love from people when you're young, you're gonna have a harder time loving yourself.
In the grand play of existence, we humans are but actors on a stage, forever seeking cues from our fellow performers. We yearn for applause, for validation, for the sweet whisper of "you are loved." Like the moon borrowing light from the sun, we often seek love from others to illuminate our own self-worth. We are social creatures, woven together in a tapestry of shared experiences and emotions. We mirror the world around us. When we see love reflected in another's eyes, we learn to replicate that glow within ourselves. Our brains, those intricate labyrinths of neurons and synapses, play a pivotal role in this dance of validation. The ventromedial prefrontal cortex, a region associated with emotional regulation, lights up when we receive validation. This is our neural reward for social bonding, a testament to our deeply ingrained need for communal acceptance and love. Yet beneath this yearning for external affirmation lies a deeper truth. It's as if we're seeking permission, a green signal from the world that it's okay to unfurl the petals of self-love. In reality, this permission slip has always been ours to write. We don't need to wait for the ink of others' approval to etch our self-love into existence. From a psychological perspective, this dependency on external validation can be traced back to our early years. As children, we look to our caregivers for responses to our actions. Their approval or disapproval shapes our perception of ourselves. As we grow, we continue this pattern, seeking validation from peers, colleagues, and society at large. But as we evolve, it's crucial to understand that the key to self-love lies within, not outside. True love, like a river, must flow from within, nourishing our soul before it reaches out to quench others. It's a journey inward, a gentle recognition of our worth that doesn't require the stamp of societal approval. It's the soft whisper in our heart that says, "I am enough." So let us rewrite the script, my friends. Let us become our own mirrors, reflecting self-love and acceptance. Let us remember that we hold the pen that writes our story of self-worth. It's time to give ourselves the permission we've been seeking, to step into the spotlight of self-love, and to take a bow, knowing we're deserving of every bit of love we receive and give.
By the way, if any of you guys want to work with me one-on-one, have a coaching call, click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one to get a coaching session.
So what you got to do is go straight to the point. Learn to generate positivity. Learn to generate good emotions from within yourself. Once you do that, it'll radiate from within you. What you want to do is feel the positivity and hold it inside. And let them, it's almost like when you're angry, but you're trying to hold it in, people can sense that you're angry even more because you're trying to hold it in. If you just hold in the positive emotions, which I'm going to show you how to do, It'll radiate from within, and it's gonna make people gravitate towards you magnetically. So how do you do that? Well, like I always tell you people, you develop a meditation practice. I don't know how many times I'm gonna tell you this, but develop a meditation practice. Practice loving kindness meditations. Out of all the meditations out there, that is the best meditation to develop positive emotions. That is the best meditation to develop self-love and self-esteem. I will put not my life on it, but I will put all the money that I have on trusting that if if you just do 30 days of loving kindness meditations, 5 to 10 minutes a day, go ahead and do that and come back to me and tell me what happens. It'll lift you up from whatever place you fell from. And it'll make you feel so much better about yourself. So remember,
Research has shown significant benefits of 30 days of loving kindness meditation. Here's a brief overview of the findings. A pilot study on loving kindness meditation for post-traumatic stress disorder revealed that participants were less depressed than those who did not practice loving kindness meditation. This effect persisted even after meditation sessions ended. A systematic review showed that loving kindness and compassion meditation could be effective treatments for psychopathology too. According to a study, even a few minutes of loving kindness meditation increased feelings of social connection. 3. A comparative study found unique benefits of loving kindness meditation in reducing negative reactions to repetitive thoughts. 4. Loving kindness meditation training was found to decrease implicit intergroup bias. 5. A study on human-animal relations revealed that individuals who practiced befriending meditation reported more positive engagement with animals. 6. Research on the interventional effects of loving-kindness meditation showed strong impacts on positive emotions and interpersonal interactions. 7. A study concluded that positive emotions induced through loving-kindness meditation can build consequential personal resources.
I always tell you guys, the way to do it is to pick 5 people: yourself, somebody that you admire or love, somebody that you're indifferent about, somebody that you're jealous about, and also a past self, like a moment in your life when you needed emotional support. And then all you do is say, may you be loved, may you be free, may you be at peace. You say it with all of your heart, and you allow yourself to feel the emotion, and you go through each one of them once or twice or 3 times. I do it 4 times. And you do that once a day for 30 days and tell me what happens. Because you'll notice that you'll realize, oh my God, like I could really self-generate emotions. A lot of people are not used to that. You usually need to do things. But to self-generate emotions from your own affirmation, that's the peak of self-esteem. The next one, playing up a character, right? It's one thing for you to look like a normal person dressing normally. It's another thing for the way that you look to remind them of somebody who is larger than life. It's like women who dress like Egyptian goddess, or women from Mexico who dress like a Mexican wife, you know what I'm saying? Or girls from Morocco who have this Morocco exotic look, or like it's people from different places who play up on the stereotype, some stereotype. It's like a dude who has long hair and a beard, right? He's playing up the Jesus look, or the Tyrone, the personal trainer look, or women who dress in cosplay. They spark up a man's imagination, or women who dress in the tomboy type of way, right? But they're straight. The way that women and people dress, that immediately classifies them as a certain person, like, oh, he's a goth. Oh, she's a lawyer, or oh, she looks like somebody who climbs a lot, or she looks like a spiritual person. That type of dressing of clothes, that playing up a character.
I'm gonna show you an example of what happens when you dress like an archetype. I didn't even know this. People in all of Europe think I'm Juice WRLD or The Weeknd. But the point is that because I kind of resemble them, it causes people to look at me all the time. Girls randomly just come and give me their number, even though I tell them, baby, I'm not Juice WRLD. Baby, I'm not The Weeknd. They'll say, hey, you just look like him. I want to get to know you. But it's because you are borrowing from that archetype. You are borrowing emotions that they feel towards them, and they transfer it over to you. Let me show you these pictures and this video of this one kid who did that. And the whole train station decided to look at me. They started taking pictures, random white dudes, like 40, 50-year-olds started taking pictures with me. Girls were giving me their numbers. It was unbelievable. And I saw that all throughout Europe, and that's because of counter-transferring. The way you look reminds them of someone. Where am I?
The weekend, man. Shit, bro. Basically, yeah, I told these guys this was the weekend. So these people started lining up, bro. They wanted pictures with this guy. So they all started giving me their phone. I started taking pictures with this guy. That's just stupid.
The way we dress can significantly influence how others perceive us and interact with us. Clothing and style serve as powerful visual cues, invoking certain archetypes or stereotypes that people associate with specific attires or looks. For instance, a man in a suit may be perceived as professional, successful, or authoritative because the suit is typically associated with business environments and formal occasions. Similarly, if a woman dresses like a character from Sailor Moon, fans of the series may project the qualities they admire in that character onto her. This phenomenon is due to the psychological concept known as transference, where individuals transfer feelings or emotions associated with one entity to another. Adopting certain styles or dressing in ways that highlight particular archetypes can be an effective strategy for influencing social interactions and relationships. It allows us to project desired traits or characteristics that we may not inherently possess, thereby shaping others' perceptions and expectations of us. However, it's crucial to remember that while clothing and appearance can create initial impressions, genuine connections and relationships are built on authenticity and mutual respect. Therefore, while dressing to evoke certain archetypes can be a powerful tool, it should be used as a means to express our true selves rather than disguise them.
Putting on a costume will give you charisma, will allow you to radiate and all, right? It's like me dressing like this, because this is the way I usually dress, right? But on camera, for some reason, all of these years, I never did. I don't understand why, to be honest with you, right? But dressing in a way that expresses my personality, me trying to be professional, but also me being the silly guy wearing this, right? It's like how would you wear a suit with this, right? But that's me, you know. I like to mix things up, right? I even wear my shoes where I put my boots and then I put this on top and then my dress shirt, right? And it's a different look because I like it, right? But it's in my expression of me. But what you want to do is play up a character. Don't just dress plainly. Dress and say something with it. Say, are you a spiritual person? Are you a serious person? Are you a professional person? Are you a playful person? Are you an adventurous person? Make sure that your clothes say the parts of your personality, and that will make you more magnetic, because it's one thing for you to dress like everyone, but it's another thing for what you wear to specifically say something about your personality accurately. So that's one thing, playing up a character. And that doesn't mean acting fake. That just means putting on the costume of a certain person, right? If you're gay, for example, a gay guy, right? If someone's gay, some gay guys dress the gay way of dressing, and then some straight guys like Prince or David Bowie will dress in a gay way, but really they're straight, which adds edginess to their character. A perfect example is David Bowie. David Bowie always played up a different character in the way that he dressed. And it made him very magnetic. When you look at Prince, he plays up a character when he dresses. Michael Jackson, they all play up a character. The Rock used to play up a character, and that made him more magnetic. What made The Rock magnetic wasn't just his personality, it was also the character he was playing. The next one is having a reputation of holiness and saintliness.
Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them.
There's something called the halo effect. And anytime you have the halo effect, it'll marinate it'll create a bias in people's mind about your character and your personality. When people think that you're an honest person, it adds power to everything that you do. When people think you are a dishonest person, it'll destroy everything that you do. It'll ruin every word that you say. It'll bring to suspicion every kind act that you do. You develop the reputation of saintliness and goodness through one. I'm not a fan of this, to be honest with you, because it looks too fake. It looks too manipulative. It's something that we all do. Honestly, if you really think about it, when anybody who is known to be somebody who's honest has done this. Any honest person that we assume is honest has done this, where they confess something. They confess a weakness, and in our minds they'll look honest. They will tell us something vulnerable about themselves. They will associate with people who are known to be honest. Those associations will then give them the association of honesty. They will do kind acts in the eyes of the public in order to get the positive appraisal from them. People do this type of stuff. People are smart, and the reason why is because it works. So you might do it in your life and you might not even notice it. But what you want to do, and this is the part that I personally don't like, and I don't do this, is make sure that people see the act. I don't like this. I personally do not like this. I'm kind of the opposite, if you guys notice. I don't think I have the reputation of saintliness, to be honest with you. Hopefully, right? Maybe hopefully the reputation that I have is of someone who's honest, right? Honest to a flaw. But the point is that this reputation is unbelievable. And that's why if you're a woman and you're talking to a guy, and let's just say you like to go around the block, right? And hang around with the football team, right? Make sure he doesn't know that shit. Don't let him know about your OnlyFans. Shut the hell up and make sure that he thinks you are an angel. Even if you're not an angel, even if you're a freak in the sheets, make sure he doesn't know that. Keep that to yourself. Take that to the grave. Do not, and I repeat, lady, do not expose your dark side. Keep it to yourself. And when I mean dark side, I mean anything that will compromise your integrity in front of the man. Some secrets need to stay secret, okay? Don't let the feminists tell you, you can tell him you're a slut, and if he doesn't accept you, that means he's a feminist. That means it's sexist. Look, Melissa can't even say the right words anymore, goddamn it. Look, listen to me, man. Don't do that, okay? I don't give a fuck if he judges you. That's how people are. Keep that shit to yourself, man, okay? I'm telling that for your own good. The next one is the presence of other men.
From an evolutionary perspective, when men observe other men expressing interest in a specific woman, it can signal that the woman possesses desirable traits, such as attractiveness or fertility. This perception can heighten their competitive drive, a behavior that has been shaped over millennia for the purpose of reproductive success too. Neurologically, this process involves several areas of the brain. The amygdala, a region associated with emotional responses, plays a significant role in mediating competitive behaviors, including mate competition 3. When a man perceives a potential rival, the amygdala activates, triggering feelings of rivalry and competitiveness. Simultaneously, the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and social behavior, helps evaluate the situation and formulate an appropriate response for. If the perceived rival is deemed a serious contender, the man might decide to increase his efforts to win the woman's attention. The hormone testosterone also plays a crucial role in this process. Studies have shown that men's testosterone levels rise during competitive interactions, and this increase can intensify feelings of competitiveness.
I am telling you, nothing will make a woman more magnetic in my eyes than seeing Tyrone, the personal trainer, trying to get my girl, all right? Seeing Jake, the quarterback, trying to teach my girl how to pass a football, right? Having Jamal, the running back, teaching her how to run routes. No, absolutely not. Having the presence of other men, like I always tell you guys, will always put a man in a sexually competitive state. It'll make him want to conquer you for the sake of competition. But also, if he really loves you, it'll reignite the actual love that he has for you. But if you don't give him that competition, if you don't let him know that Tyrone, the personal trainer, is lurking in the shadows, waiting for you to slip up, then he's going to take you for granted. There's nothing wrong with making a guy compete for you. In fact, guys like that. It is in their nature. You know that, right? It's in men's nature to compete. So if you remove that opportunity from him to compete, then you're removing some of the intense love that he might feel for you. And that will make you more magnetic. There's something called pre-selection. Pre-selection and seeing other people want you makes people want you. It's that simple. The next one is calming down your nonverbal cues, right? The opposite is when you're talking to someone and they're like this. Yeah, of course. Or even when they smile, but you could tell they're trying, it's a forced smile. So when they smile, they're like this. Like it's a fakeness to it. Or when they talk to you and they fidget. They fidget, right? I do that sometimes when I'm nervous around someone.
Nervousness often leads to fidgety behavior due to the body's natural response to stress or anxiety, known as the fight or flight response. This phenomenon is rooted in our evolutionary history, where survival often depended on our ability to either confront or flee from threats. When we feel nervous or anxious, our body releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones prepare the body for action by increasing heart rate, blood pressure, and glucose levels. They also stimulate the nervous system, leading to heightened alertness and readiness for physical activity.
Right, I do that too. All of those things say there's a friction within you, right? You are afraid that you kind of can sense that you're coming across a certain way and you don't accept it and you don't like it, so you try to fix it in real time. And that trying to fix it in real time creates a tension, creates a friction that communicates insecurity. Ladies and gentlemen, the self is always coming through. You could try as much as you want. Your insecurities will shine through like the sun's shining through the sky. It'll just shine through. You can't. It's hard to do that. So one of the ways to communicate that calmness is practicing meditation. What's going on is your amygdala might be way too overactive, causing nervous signals to send all throughout your body. It's causing signals of threat, signals that your safety is a threat, at least physically or even socially. And so it makes you nervous. It creates adrenaline. It causes you to tense up. So you're trying to give a relaxed smile, but because you're so tense because of the fear, that smile looks tense. And even you might even try to frown. You might even frown, because you're trying to hide your frown. It'll just look like you look like a creep, to be quite honest with you.
In the grand theater of life, each gesture, each glance, each subtle shift of stance speaks volumes. Yet sometimes eloquence lies not in the flurry of movement, but in the stillness that holds its own against the storm. Lowering your nonverbal reaction is like becoming the serene moon in a night sky cluttered with stars. You appear more confident because you choose not to dance to every tune, but to sway only to the melody that truly moves your soul. You become the master of your own responses, rather than a puppet swaying to external strings. Confidence is a quiet stream flowing steadily, not a tempestuous torrent that roars and rages. It's a calm sea, not perturbed by every passing wind. When you limit your nonverbal reactions, you become this calm sea, exuding strength and assurance. In the realm of communication, less can indeed be more. A nod instead of a headshake, a smile instead of a laugh, a steady gaze instead of a restless glance. These are the hallmarks of a self-assured individual, one who does not need the crutch of excessive gestures to make a point. By lowering your nonverbal reactions, you become a tranquil lake, reflecting the world without losing your depths. You become the rock that stands firm amidst the waves, the tree that bends with the wind yet never breaks. This is the essence of true confidence, a quiet strength that needs no loud proclamation. So, my friend, let your silence speak. Let your serenity shine. Lower your nonverbal reactions and watch as the world sees your confidence rise. For in the end, it's not the loudest who win the applause, but those who command the stage with their poised, silent presence.
So calming your nonverbal cues, relax your face, right? Relax your face, relax your body, right? When you sit down, take up space, you know? Like, imagine me this. Yeah, oh really? As opposed to this. This is relax. This is relax. This is relax. I'm talking to you. It's just relax, you know? You might even lean back, take up more space, right? All of these create an overall impression of confidence, self-assuredness, relaxation. And naturally, people want to follow people who have a self-assuredness. People want to follow people who are confident, relaxed. So develop those relaxed nonverbal cues. Because you see, the way people judge people it's not just through your pictures, right? It's like me looking at a picture. I'm only getting a very small percentage of who you are. What will really tell me who you are is when I see you move. Noticing how you move your face, noticing how you even walk, noticing how you move your hands, noticing how you stand, how you sit, noticing how you talk, how you respond, how you speak, the pace that you speak, the speed of your response, how much you hesitate, where your eyes go when you talk, how long you keep eye contact, what happens when I make eye contact with you. Like, all of these little things is what makes up you. And it's what creates the impression in people, whether it's good or bad. You want to learn to calm those down, to simmer it, to learn to keep it at a simmering point, and it'll create a charismatic aura when you do that. It's something that it's no secret, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that's very common, and this is something that if you observe it, if you're honest with yourself and you just keep your eyes open, you'll see it all the time. It's everywhere. You know, it's kind of interesting how that works, to be honest with you, because even I do that sometimes. When I'm nervous around someone, I do this. I can't help it, right? But when I'm not nervous around someone, I don't do that. It's kind of ironic. The next one is being willing to walk away. This one is like, I mean, I hope you guys know this, right? Because when you're willing to walk away, it shows people that you're not somebody who is super needy for their attention.
Imagine yourself as a bird in flight, wings spread wide against the azure sky. Each social encounter is a tree that you might choose to land on, a place to rest, to sing, to share your song. Yet the beauty of your flight lies not in clinging to one branch, but in the freedom to soar, to explore, and if need be, to leave. Being willing to walk away from social interactions is akin to this bird's freedom. It is the power to unfurl your wings and take flight again, a silent declaration that your world does not hinge upon one conversation, one connection, or one moment. You are no desperate climber clinging onto a rock face, but a bird in flight, choosing where and when to land. This willingness eases social interactions, for it removes the burden of expectation, the weight of needing to impress or win approval. It infuses your words with a lightness, an authenticity that invites others to lower their guards, to engage without fear or pretense. It is a dance where the steps aren't dictated by desperation, but by the rhythmic beat of genuine interest and self-assured independence. People can sense this freedom in your demeanor, this readiness to walk away, and paradoxically, it draws them in. For who would not want to bask in the company of a free spirit, a bird that sings not because it needs to, but because it chooses to? Who would not be eased by a conversation that feels like a gentle breeze rather than a binding chain? So, like the bird, be willing to spread your wings, to walk away when the time calls. In this willingness, you'll find your social interactions imbued with a profound ease, a tranquility born from the freedom of choice, and the beauty of unforced bonds.
Whenever you feel like somebody wants something from you really badly, it feels threatening. It feels very threatening. When you feel like somebody needs your validation, it feels like it's like a threat. And that sense of threatening because you're so needy causes people to tense up and close up. And being willing to walk away tells them that you should be okay because there's no confrontation with me. You're not gonna have to reject me. You're not gonna have to make it put the rejection and make it lightly. You're not gonna have to have that awkward talk with me of you rejecting me or you saying no to me, right? Because when you feel someone is willing to walk away, you don't feel like the exit strategy is gonna be stressful. So that's gonna be in the back of your mind, and so when you talk to them, you're just gonna be more relaxed. But when you can sense that, oh fuck man, if I reject this person, this is gonna be like chopping wood. This is gonna be difficult. It kind of like just marinates the whole interaction. It ruins their interaction. It removes its natural chemistry per se. So what you want to do is learn to be willing to walk away. And ladies and gentlemen, this willing to walk away is a mentality. It's a mentality that you fix in your mind and you tell yourself, I am going to be willing to walk away. There is no complicated nature to this. It is that simple. If you're not willing to walk away, you're not going to communicate this. You're just not going to communicate this. You're not. No matter what you do, you're not going to do this. The willingness to walk away comes down to the fact that if you leave this person, you know that at the end of the day, you're still going to feel good about yourself. That is being willing to walk away. But not being willing to walk away is thinking that if you leave this person, you're not going to feel good about yourself. You're not going to be able to handle the pain. And the way that you develop that confidence is through going through pain.
Enduring and overcoming emotional pain can develop confidence because it serves as a testament to your resilience and strength. It's like walking through fire and emerging on the other side, stronger and more resilient than before. When you face emotional pain, you are essentially facing one of life's most challenging adversaries. The process of overcoming this adversity forces you to tap into inner resources that you may not have been aware of. This could include resilience, determination, courage, and inner strength. As you navigate through the storm of emotions and eventually find calm, you realize your ability to withstand hardships. This realization breeds confidence. You've faced something difficult and survived. Not only survived, but grew from the experience. You become confident in your abilities to handle future challenges, knowing that you've done so before. Moreover, enduring emotional pain often involves introspection and self-understanding. You learn more about your emotional triggers, your strengths, and your weaknesses. This self-knowledge further fuels your confidence. You begin to understand yourself better, which leads to greater self-assuredness. In essence, overcoming emotional pain is a journey of self-discovery and growth. And with every step you take on this journey, your confidence builds, brick by brick, forming a fortress of self-belief that stands tall against future adversities. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. Similarly, our confidence often shines brightest after enduring and overcoming emotional pain.
Developing a meditation practice and using meditation to overcome those emotions. And each time you do it, you develop more confidence for the next time. And it adds upon itself to the point that when you notice that somebody's going to reject you, or the thought of rejection doesn't bring fear, but it brings resilience. What you want to see is losing. Take losing as a challenge. Change your attitude. Don't see pain as something to coward from. Develop an attitude of somebody. Be brave, right? Don't be coward. Don't be cowards to feel pain. Have an attitude of pain is growth. Have an attitude that each time you feel pain, you're gonna grow from that pain. If you develop that attitude, it's going to make you feel excited at the thought of, oh fuck, you know what? If this person rejected me, it's time for me to grow. You're not gonna cower and run away from the challenge. You're gonna run towards it because you realize that this challenge holds the key to your ascendance. The next one is listening. Paying attention. Too many of us think that people are not interesting around us. Too many of us think that people are boring. Too many of us think that we are more interested than everybody else, and as a result, we close down. As a result, when we listen, we're not really listening because we're waiting to what we have to say, right? You have to realize that everyone is interesting. In my opinion, everyone is unique. Everyone is extremely interesting. And the only reason why you don't realize how interesting they are is because you're self-absorbed.
In the vast orchestra of life, each voice plays a vital part. But when self-absorbedness takes the stage, it silences every other heart. Wrapped in the echoes of our own thoughts, we become the solitary dancer. Ignoring the symphony around us, to our own tune, we become the prancer. Insecurity whispers in our ears a deceptive, insidious song, telling us we must shout louder, drown others out, or we won't belong. It's a dance of shadows and echoes, a self-centered, fearful waltz. We become so engrossed in our own rhythm that everyone else's music halts. The voices around us fade away, lost in the clamor of our mind, a cacophony of self where others' words no space can find. In this whirl of noise and silence, where only our fears are heard, we leave no room for others' voices, their pleas go undeterred. And thus, the person speaking to us, their words fall on deaf ears, their hopes, dreams, and stories, swallowed by our insecurities and fears. They stand at the edge of our world, their voice a distant star, shining bright but unheard in our universe, they seem so far. So let's quieten our inner turmoil, let's hush our self-absorbed refrain, and open our hearts to the music around us. Let's listen once again. For only when we step off the stage and join the audience can we truly start to hear, understand, and cherish the symphony of every heart.
Yeah, I'll try that, but it's very hard to overcome certain patterns. So I try to tackle the question of why is it that you're not a good listener? And at the root of that is you're more interested in yourself than you are in the other person. You won't deny that. You will say, oh, no, that's not me. That's not me. I really like people. But the truth is, you're more interested in your own thoughts and your own ideas, things that you're so certain about, your own experiences, than about that other person and what they're saying and what's going on inside them. If you can flip that around, if you can actually feel the motivation to get inside Lewis and get inside his head and his experience, then you will suddenly become a better listener. That's the key, not just telling people to listen more.
You are in your head. You are insecure. You're only thinking about how you're coming across. And as a result, you don't have the space to take in this other person, to understand them, to feel them, to see them, to observe them, to make them feel heard. That will hurt the relationship that you have with them. So what you want to do is when you're listening to people, notice your breath. Learn to develop the practice of noticing the breath. If you just notice the breath, what happens is that your internal chatter in your mind that is usually running, that energy will go towards you noticing the breath. It's either thinking about what to say next, or use that energy to bring more consciousness to your body and notice your breath. And so what would happen is that by you noticing the breath, now you're opening up space in your mind because you don't have that inner chatter about how you're coming across. And now now your senses open up. And now you observe more in that person. You notice their reaction more. You notice the details more. You're able to create connections between the things that they said in the past and the things that they're saying, or even assume certain things about the future. You're able to just observe better. And what happens is that it creates a sensation in the other person that they are heard. And when they leave the conversation with you, they're not going to say, oh my God, Father Alex was so interesting. They're going to say to themselves, oh my God, I am so interesting. And that is the peak of charm. That is a peak of magnetism. When you make the other person feel like they are greater than who they are in your presence. Right? Because a lot of people don't know how to listen. A lot of people, if you notice the next time you talk to people, notice how many times you interrupt. Notice how many times you're thinking about what to say next. Notice how many times you're thinking about how you're coming across. Notice how many times your focus and insecurity is on how you're coming across. Just notice that. It's quite shocking. Quite shocking. And that self-absorption only comes from insecurity. So if you just do the first thing we talked about, of becoming your own source of positive emotions, this insecurity over time will go away, and you will have the mental space to listen. Because when somebody's insecure, they always talk about themselves because they're trying to get you to react positively so that they can feel permission to feel good about themselves. They're using interactions and conversation as a goddamn therapy session, man. It's unbelievable.
As social creatures, humans are hardwired to seek approval and acceptance from others. This instinct traces back to our ancestors who relied on social bonds for survival. Being part of a group meant protection, shared resources, and increased chances of survival. Over time, this translated into a deep-seated need for social validation. Validation from others serves as an external gauge of our worth and place in society. It's like a mirror reflecting back an image of ourselves, one that is shaped by societal norms and expectations. When this reflection aligns with our own self-perception, it can bolster our confidence and self-esteem. However, the value we place on external validation over our internal validation can sometimes be skewed. It's easy to lose sight of our own worth when we become too reliant on the opinions of others. It's important to strike a balance, to realize that while social acceptance can be gratifying, it's our own self-approval that truly holds the key to lasting self-confidence and contentment.
We all do that. We're all trying to get validation. If you stop the validation, all of a sudden what you'll do is validate others, and people will gravitate towards you because you have become their own source of positive emotions. All right, good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to learn more about this, you can check out my course, Emotional Mastery, about how to develop an emotional relaxation, or any of my courses that's not emotional mastery, and I talk about this topic. It's really interesting. And if any of you guys want to work with Father Alex 101, click in the description down below. I know this whole week has been really tough for me to get to people who schedule calls because I'm in another country and the time difference is pretty big. But I'm leaving today. I'm going back to New York, and then my time is going to be normal, and you guys will be able to have those conversations with me. Okay? Thank you so much, man. Much love to everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't purchased any of my courses, we have a special bundle deal for everyone. So that you can purchase all of my courses, meaning you could purchase the Psychological Game of Attraction, Natural Chemistry, and Nice Girl, along with all of the bonuses. Originally, if you purchase everything without the bundle, it'll be around $500, to be honest with you. But right now, if you guys purchase it, with the bundle, you guys will be able to get all of these courses: psychological game of attraction, which is for women who are single; natural chemistry, which is for women who are in a relationship; Nice Girl, which is a course on assertiveness, along with all of the bonuses: social mastery, practical mastery in terms of how to master anything, social mastery in terms of how to master your social skills, and the laws of human nature, wherein it's part of the Robert Greene book club I used to have. All of these, naturally, like I said, it's $500. Now you get it at $394, which is essentially 20% off everything. But if you guys want to purchase a more affordable bundle, you guys can purchase the bundle without the bonuses, and that will be at $224 rather than the $300. Well, rather than the $293 that you guys would naturally purchase it. So you could purchase it with the bundle or without the bundle. You could purchase it with the bonuses or without the bonuses. It's all of the work that I put in the last 4 years, in the last 5 years actually, all of the research that I've done. And this course, rather than watching all of my videos, and because they could be random and you could sort of like lose the big picture because there's just so many videos, you guys get all of the content condensed in a course. And everyone who's purchased my course have been satisfied with it. And if they didn't like it, I always give their money back. I have never rejected a refund. All right. So purchase it right now. Click on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. And I'll see you guys inside.